How the heck are you guys? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to this week's edition of Should You Summon. This is a weekly video series where I release a video the evening before that weekend's Banners and Watcher of Realms, and I answer the all-important question, should you summon? So, quite the juicy docket of summoning banners this Christmas weekend. First off, happy holidays to everybody, and I've got to say, boy oh boy, we have a Frostfall summon. This is going to be an exclusive limited hero with Gwendolyn and the amazing Estrid, an amazing epic as well on that 10x guaranteed hero event. We have an ancient summoning, more on that to come. We've got Prayers Divine Summoning and Prayers Invocation of Spirits. That is a normal rare summoning banner and divine summoning banner, so blue shards and gold shards. And that is going to be a 2x by 10x. So there's a 2x rate up on legendary heroes plus a 10x on these listed heroes. Truly insane stuff. Hard to wrap your head around all of it. Everyone is going to have to assess for their account should they summon. I mean, that's the point of this whole series. And you do know I'm going to answer this question and break it down for all spending groups, those being free to play, low spender, bid spender, dolphin, whale. As for you Krakens, of course you are summoning. On this weekend of all weekends, of course you are. So have a blast doing it. Summon on all the banners, and thank you for supporting the game. Guys, there is a lot to break down this weekend. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Alrighty, my friends, there is a lot to talk about, so let's hop right on in. I want to say, first off, I'm going to have a video coming out tomorrow when the banners actually go live, in which I do a full deep dive breakdown on the kits of Boreas and of Orim, the two brand new legendary heroes coming to the game. I actually like both of them a lot. However, let's cue up the timer and go back to everyone's favorite segment, the 2-minute banner breakdown, just to give you my quick thoughts on everything before I answer all those questions with regards to should you summon. All right, start the clock. First one, we have got the Frostfall summons. This is going to be a 250 guaranteed legendary summoning banner. It's a 10x on Gwendolyn. If you do not get her before 250 summons, you are guaranteed her on summon number 250. Remember, your pity will count on this banner. I had that wrong with Falsia. I have amended it since I've done my own research. So if you're close to pity, you could hit her on the 10x. However, if you finally do get her on number 250, then that will reset your pity. It counts as the same normal pity as your typical Invocation of Spirits, right? Same banner, we've got Estrid, the rarest epic in the game, and she's showing up on a 10x. One of the best epic heroes in the entire game. AoE, damage dealing, debuffing fighter. She's got a great chance to do double hits. She does AoE. She has got defense reduction at 20%, goes up to 30%. She is super, super, super good. Then we've got this ancient summoning banner. Literally nothing to report. The only thing I'll say is there's an increased chance to get Lord heroes, and then this is your chance to get many of the Chaos heroes. They have not updated this. Devs, if you're watching, it should also say your chance to get the Supreme Arbiter heroes. As of now, it does not look like there's any new heroes getting added, and there's no 10x. Seems like an obvious skip to many a people. Now, Prayers Divine Summoning, these are 2x by 10x, so double rate up on legendary heroes, twice as likely to get your legendaries, and then a 10x on these heroes here. All pretty good heroes. Most importantly, let's focus on the legendaries. Boreas, Freeze Lord. He's got a chance to do freezes himself, but the amazing thing he does is he's got this Eternal Ice Haven. When him or any allies inflict freeze, there's a chance for some massive AoE damage. This guy's a beast in Gear Raid 1, anything with big bunches of mobs. More testing to be done by me personally. Look forward to that over the weekend, but definitely a very unique, very interesting hero. There's going to be a freeze meta now, no question. Let's go on now to Setram. Setram's amazing, amazing as a shield buster. You might not see him putting up the enormous damage numbers in Guild Boss. However, he enables those enormous damage numbers from your Zealotus, your Hexes, your Valerias, whatever, because he helps get that shield down way, way faster. I would also say, if you have him, but you don't have him A1, this is going to give his buff that makes him, when he does his ultimate, that does increased damage to enemies with shields, he's going to give part of that to 2 of his allies as well. Crazy stuff. You're going to want to get him at A1. Then we've got Orim. I think this guy's getting slept on. He's a good tank. He's got some nice stats. I'll show that right now. You can see very high attack, which might not seem that interesting, but it actually is because he's a damage-dealing tank. He's got some really nice burning, so you can get some damage out of him through burning since that's based on the enemy's HP without really building attack on him. However, if you want, there's lots of chances for him to retaliate with damage, to do some big AoE damage, and he has buffs, which I haven't really heard talk about. When deployed, there's going to be a crit rate increase and a crit damage increase. That's really, really good. The crit damage increase is going to be not just him, but all his allies. Might have gone slightly over 2 minutes, but there you go. That is the 2-minute banner breakdown. Actually, give me 10 more seconds on the clock. We've got 3 really, really cool heroes. Hollow, who I only have not put my last soulstone into, so want to get her A5. Hollow, back on a 10x banner, the 3rd or 4th rarest epic in the whole game. The best epic healer in the whole game, the 2nd best healer in the game, period. She is cracked out. Meriel, people don't like Meriel. This is a healing defender. However, specifically for Watcher Faction Trial, and also potentially if you need help with some healing in the Conqueror Immortal Codex boss that we have live right now, she's really good. So I don't think she's a bad pull. And then, of course, we've got Marri. Marri's really good at A5. Her A5 is really good. You obviously get her for free on day 3 for your login reward, but an increased duration of freeze and slow by 1 second is very powerful. I just got my Marri A5, and you notice the difference. Really good stuff. There is your banner breakdown. Let's start answering those big old questions. So, free to play. Should you summon? Through Kraken, should you summon? The answer this weekend is yes. No question you should summon this weekend. The question is really going to be where should you summon? How much should you summon? With these options, I don't see how you could take this weekend off. Specifically, I don't think anyone should ever take off a 2x by 10x if the legendaries are good. I think all 3 of these legendaries are good. I think, you know what, I'll just make a general caveat. The only reason you shouldn't do this, if you're just not interested in Boreas, you know, it's just he's not jumping off the page at you. You don't like this idea of running some kind of freeze team. Maybe it feels cheesy to you. I don't know. If you don't want that massive damage from his Eternal Ice Haven, then you could skip it, assuming you also already have A1 Setram and you're not interested in Orim. I will say Orim's probably the least interesting because he is just a tank. However, I do think he's going to bring a lot more utility as a tank when it comes to actually putting out some damage, and that crit damage buff that he gives, it's to the whole team. It's not about his range or anything. I like him. I wouldn't mind getting him. He's going to easily be the best tank in the Infernal faction, because the only Infernal tank right now is going to be, of course, Titus, who freaking stinks. Worth noting, he's expensive at 25 costs. That's nothing compared to Titus at 31 costs. I will say that hurts his value, though, that he's not 18 or 19 costs. That being said, I think 98% of players should be going for this banner. The only reason not to is if you're in love with Gwendolyn. I think if you're choosing between the two in a normal state, everyone should go for the 2x by 10x. Much higher chances, obviously, 2x on legendaries. I think the epics are pretty good. I guess if you have a maxed out Hollow, maxed out Marri, if you don't care about Meriel, it could be a skip. A1 Setram's so strong. Something I didn't say in the banner breakdown, having Setram, he's a good Infernal DPS, and to get a fully effective guild boss team with an Infernal faction team that you're running, so you've got a Pyros lead or a Twin Fiend lead or a Soul Cannons lead, you need 3 additional DPS. So you have your Lord, you have Boreas, I'm sure, and then you're going to need 3 DPS. Having 2 DPS is not going to cut it, so a Hex and a Seal of 2, that's nice. Setram, that's a perfect third. He's going to be better than Nocturne because he lets you take those shields down so fast, then the boss is in his vulnerable state, then you put up some huge numbers. So the only way I'm not summoning if I'm anybody this weekend, free to play or Kraken, is if I already have A1 Setram, I'm not interested in Boreas, and I don't care about the epics, which there's going to be some people, but it's going to be a slim minority. So I think this is a weekend everyone's summoning. So let's start with free to play. Let's talk about the different situations where you can make that decision. Where should you summon and how much should you summon? Free to play, I wouldn't go crazy this weekend. No way. Unless you're enamored with Gwendolyn and you're minded with excitement by the 2x by 10x. Free to play, I would pull 50 summons. Why not? We don't know what's coming yet for New Year's. That's too bad. If you wanted, you could hold out. You can see all these go till Monday. So actually, here's a pro tip for all you guys that are sticking with me. By Monday, we should have the New Year's banners going live. We should have information on them. If you can be patient, and that could be a really informed way to do this. And that might be the right thing to do for a free-to-play or low spender where you're really min-maxing your resources, right? So for me, not knowing what that is, I can't in good conscience say don't summon on these great banners because we might have something good coming. Till I have definitive information, I think you've got to summon. If you want to be just like, let me dip my toesies in the water, I have 100 summon saves, maybe I'll do 40 or 50 as a free-to-play on the 2x by 10x because I'm interested in these heroes, I think power to you. I think if you're free-to-play, there's basically no way you should go for Gwendolyn, honestly. She's not going to be game-changing. The shields are juicy, but Vortex has some pretty good shields too. Not as good as Gwendolyn, but they're good. Gwendolyn has a nice synergy with the chaotic units because she's not really going to heal them that much. Her heals aren't that good, so she'll keep their health low, but her HP is really good. But from everyone I've talked to on Forerunner, Gwendolyn's only really popping off on A3 when this Icy Shield is going to give a full shield as opposed to a half shield to all the targets around the main target. Who's getting her A3? Come on, you're going to have to be super lucky, or you're not a free-to-play or a low spender, right? So I think she's a hard skip. She's a luxury item. She is not a necessity item. She's not a... She's a car that gets, she's not a car that gets you to work. She's like a fancy sedan, like a Rolls Royce or something. Except probably not as nice as a Rolls Royce, you know? But basically she's the fancy Greek yogurt as opposed to like the cheap store brand stuff that's just going to fill you up. You don't need to spend more for her. She's just a special little thing. We don't need those luxury items if we're free to play or low spender. For low spender, I will say if I was a low spender, what better time to spend than Christmas? I do really like this banner. What you could do is do all the spending you intended to do. If that's 20 or 30 bucks for December, do it now. Do your 50 summons or 40 summons, whatever you want to do to wet your palate, if you will, on this Prayers Divine Summoning, Prayers Invocation of Spirits, the 2x by 10x. And then you can, you know, see, oh, I got what I wanted. Oh, I got into pity. I want to stop. And then you can see what's coming. Wait till Monday, see what's coming on the coming New Year's banner, right? We go down onto mid-spender. Mid-spender, you should definitely be summoning. I mean, if you're a mid-spender and you're spending, you know, up to like 75 bucks, let's say you spent 60 bucks or 80 bucks this month, something like that. I mean, you might spend a little more. It is the Christmas holidays. It's the New Year's season, right? If I was a mid-spender, I would say, of course, I'm summoning. Again, I think hard skip on Gwendolyn unless you're enamored with this hero. The only way, if you're trying to if you have Elder, or if you have King Hearts or something, more likely Elder, and you're trying to get this perfect, you know, Northerner synergy, get this Northerner meta comp going, which TBD if it's perfectly gonna work, it could help. You know, it could help. She could probably run as straight up your only healer for Guild Boss and putting those shields out. Maybe you could be running like a Northerner chaotic team, super unique and different. Could be interesting. I will say the other reason you can go as a mid-spender, and there's a reason I didn't mention it for free-to-play or low-spender because it's not such an option. If you're straight up like a collector, then yeah, do it. This might be why I go for Gwendolyn, just because I don't want to miss out on getting her and then probably have to wait another year till she comes back or something. Going on to Dolphin. Dolphin, you're going in, baby, right? Dolphin's 75 bucks to 250 bucks. That's how I define it. If you're a Dolphin, you're spending a little money. You're probably spending a little extra in December. Diciembre, if you will, and I think you're going for it. I would probably go hard on the 2x by 10x, again with the caveat unless you're super into Gwendolyn. If I was a Dolphin, I'd probably do at least 150, 200 summons on the 2x by 10x. That's just me personally. Finally, Whale, I'd say go all out. What better time? Get your super exclusive. She is niche, but she is good. Maybe you'll get some Estrid copies. Estrid's really good at A5. I've seen Estrid on like a top 20 or top 25 Conqueror Immortal Codex team. Lots of uses for her. Very, very fun hero. I just got my first copies. I wouldn't mind if I do end up going for this banner, getting some extra copies of her. You'll probably get plenty if you're going to whale out on this. Go for the 250. And then Gwendolyn, I mean, if you're a whale, how can you pass up on an exclusive hero? And then the 2x by 10x, Boreas is brand new, and he's going to be very, very fun. And then if you haven't maxed out your Setram, I mean, Setram's still really good at A3. Increased damage for each tile between the target and the hero. Setram's got that big old range, so that's a lot of increased damage, especially on Guild Boss. And if we look, overloaded an extra 5 seconds on A5. If you're a whale, you should want to get an A5 Setram. So that's pretty darn sweet. Let's wrap this thing up. Why didn't you talk about Ancient Summoning, Fastidious? Well, because why would I? Until they tell me more about this. If this is just, hey, there's Ancient Summoning, and that's the end of the sentence, and there's no 10x, so we can't make that decision, and they're not introducing any new heroes to the pool, I don't know what's to entice me. Or Uridin has yet to be added to the pool. Uridin is going to be an even more powerful creep, potentially, than Ardia. Ardia is not rated up here, so why would I waste my chances? I don't see any Lords rated up that I have my eye on. There's no Soul Cadence rate up. You know, there's no Cyrus rate up, so I'm waiting, and I really, really, really think everyone should. The only exception, the most specific exception, if you're doing a rares only challenge like I am, I will be pulling because I still need to get a Dagna, the rare Lord. So if you're in that shockingly specific circumstance, then you can pull. Otherwise, You have it on good authority from me, unless they announce something that there's going to be some 10x they haven't told us about, or there's going to be some new heroes added. No reason. No reason. I will say, if for some reason they add Uridin and they just haven't told us, then I think Dolphins and above go nuts. Everyone else, wait. Maybe we'll get a rate up. You're going to have to get crazy lucky to get him anyway. All right, my friends, I think I covered all my bases pretty darn well. Let me make myself really big for a nice goodbye. Happy holidays to all of you. Thank you for supporting me so much. If you like my stuff, like it, comment, let me know any questions. I answer every single comment. Subscribe, share it with your mother. Wish her a Merry Christmas from me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.